Welcome to Leesburg's Parks and Recreation Show. I'm your host, Claudia Verga. The city of Leesburg offers many recreation programs, but the summertime is when it really heats up. Today we'll be talking to Jim Harrison, and later we'll be talking to Leesburg's athletic directors, Brian Anderchuk and Marcus Nyblack. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name's Jim Harrison. My wife and I own Swimming for Life Swim School in Claremont, and we've been there in Claremont for 10 years. She's been a swim instructor for 43 years, so our natural being is to be involved with water and water safety.
Now, what is Water Safety Day?
Water Safety Day actually is originated in 2011. It started from a small seminar that my wife had with local folks, just calling parents in to talk to them about water safety and the importance of knowing about what we can do to make our pools and waterways safer. And because of that small gathering and some miscommunications, my wife and I decided to contact Commissioner Sean Parks, who is one of the county commissioners, and talk to him about making this awareness and getting more people involved because of the drowning statistics here in Florida. The children ages 1 to 4, that's the leading cause of death in children 1 to 4, and it's one of the leading causes of death in children all the way up to about 15 years of age. So it is important. So my wife and I contacted Sean Parks and began to talk to him about putting together what we first called April Pools Day. And that was last year. We had our first April Pools Day last year at the NTC Training Center. We involved the Lake County Fire Department, the Health Department, quite a few of the local county and city officials were involved in that. And from that, it's began to grow. We took the past year and have grown it to an extent where this year we're having there at the NTC, which is now Livewell, and also they'll be here in Leesburg, thanks to Brian and Mark allowing us to be a part of their day and bringing this whole thing together.
Now, do you and your wife have a personal story that created this passion about creating awareness about water safety?
Well, I think the thing that really created it with this, my wife has been instructing babies from 12 months old up to 88. And we have seen and heard quite a few stories. Matter of fact, last year we were able to teach a lady and her family, her 3 boys, how to swim, and she had lost one of her children to drowning. So we hear a lot of personal stories that people come to us, and we in our business or in our swim school, it's more also of a ministry where we get to know the people, we build relationships with people, and it helps us to get more involved. And my wife has had a passion for children and for drowning for years, and this is just kind of growing out of it. And we've finally gotten enough time. She has some time on her hands, and I have some time on my hands now that I'm retired to pursue this.
Okay, so this is the second annual event.
Yes.
And are you going to have, you're having an event here?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other event was located?
In Claremont, at the Livewell Fitness Center. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what actually happens at a water safety event?
Well, what happens is the local first response folks and other city and county departments come together, and we put together, it's an educational program. We'll have a mock drowning. This year we'll have a drowning in the pool, and it'll simulate a lake drowning with a couple of kids in a canoe. They fall over. There's a drowning scenario, and the first responders come in and they do the rescue in front of the folks as they watch. It'll be put on to where, and then they'll go through the whole thing. They'll pull them out, do the CPR. So that's one phase of it. We have also the U.S. Coast Guard, and they will do a life jacket fitting. It's a little scenario where they bring the kids in, they set them in chairs, and it's kind of like you're on a boat, and then all of a sudden the weather gets bad, everybody goes and grabs their life jacket. Well, then when they go to get their life jacket, they just grab one, right? Well, then after that happens, then the Coast Guard will set them down and explain to them the importance of fitting a life jacket that fits you. So there'll be that. There's CPR. There's a CPR demonstration, and there's also a short movie for the children on water safety and about how to keep your area safe. It's more or less throughout the course of it is to make us all aware of the potential of drowning. The drowning is a silent death. And so here in Florida, with all the water that we have around us, it's important that people understand how easy it is for a child to get away and to drown. So it's more or less to project ways that you can make your home, around your home if you have a pool, around your area if you live around water, and most people here in Florida do live around water, things to look for and to be on lookout for throughout the year, and especially from now probably till September or October, because we're getting into that time of the year where a lot of folks are going to spend a lot of time on the water.
Right. Well, it's very important what you and your wife are out educating the community with, and we thank you for your work and your passion.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being here today with us.
All righty. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And we'll return shortly to talk with Brian Anderchuk about Safety Day and swimming lessons.
With nearly 300 different products that come fresh from Florida, it's easy to combine a few to make a unique meal for your family tonight. Let's start with this winter Florida harvest salad. Crisp cucumber, radish, and sweet peppers make this an amazing first choice. And how about a Florida chicken scallopini with wilted arugula and fresh Florida tomato? To end on a sweet note, how about some fresh Florida strawberries with white and dark chocolate mousse? For these recipes and many more, visit our website.
Welcome, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
Well, as you know, we just got done talking to Jim, and he told us all about water safety. When is it happening?
It's actually, this event is going to happen on Saturday, May 18th, and it's going to happen here at Venetian Gardens Pool from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock.
What else is going on that day?
Well, we're really excited that we're going to have all that events and all that neat stuff that Jim just talked about going on. But we're also going to be registering for getting some pre-registrations for our swim lessons. So it's going to be the first chance for them to sign up and get ready for our swim lessons for the summer.
Well, when is swim lessons this year?
Swim lessons start actually as soon as school gets out. We got to wait for those kids to get out of school first. It's going to start on June 10th. It's going to be our first swim lessons. Swim lessons will run for 2 weeks. And they sign up. They're signed up for Monday through Friday for 2 weeks, and it's 45-minute sessions.
Okay, so is it here at Venetian Gardens?
It is here at Venetian Gardens.
Okay.
We try to keep our classes to about 6 to 7 kids in a class, so it's really good with the teacher kid interaction, and so they will fill up. So this is a good chance for them to come that Saturday, that May 18th, and get signed up and be one of the first people to secure your time for your swim lessons.
Now, how long is actually the swimming lesson?
The swim lessons is 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and it goes for 2 weeks. So we'll go for 2 weeks, we'll take a week off swim lessons, we'll start our second session. We'll have 3 sessions throughout the entire summer.
Can you come to all 3 sessions?
You sure can. You can, and that's what we hope to see. We hope to see somebody start at a lower level, and by the end of the summer, they end up in a higher level, and they can swim across the entire pool.
How much does it cost?
It costs $25.
$25?
$25 is all it costs.
That's very reasonable.
It is. It's very reasonable.
And as Jim mentioned earlier, safety and knowing how to swim is extremely important.
That is our number one point. That's one of the reasons why we've tried to stay so low. We really want the people in this community and in Leesburg to know how to swim. We don't want to see any drownings in Leesburg.
Right. Registration, what do you need to register?
What you need to register is on that day. There's a lot of other stuff for the kids to do. The kid needs to come. The child needs to come. The mom needs to come, or dad needs to come. The child needs to be ready to swim. We're going to actually test them. And once we test them, we'll put them in the appropriate class so that we have them in the right class that is their skill level. And then they'll end up having to pay for that day. That $25 is all they really need.
So the children actually get in the pool that day, you do some skills to see where you're going to place them, and you have different levels. What are the different levels?
We have pre-levels, which is our 3 to 5 year olds, and that is the levels that it's meant for the younger kids because you teach them a little different. And our pre-A are what we call the criers. the hang on mommy's leg and I'm not letting go. And we're really trying to get them acclimated in the water, get them to maybe do a little bit of blowing bubbles, get them in the water. The main thing is prying them off of mama's leg. Once we get that done, we can start moving on.
Wait a minute. So are you telling maybe mama has to get in the pool too?
Not with that one. Not with that level. We do not have the mom get in the pool. We try to, especially for that level, we try to get them away, a little bit away from the pool, because if they see mommy a lot of times, they'll run from the class and they'll go right to mommy and get right back on that leg.
Okay.
So that's our first thing, is get them in the pool. We do fun games with them at that level. We're just trying to get them so they're not scared of the water. Once we get them past that not scared of the water part, we can move on to our pre-B, which is our next level up for that age group. That's where they'll jump in the water. They can't swim yet, but we start getting them to rhythmic breathing, which is like blowing bubbles, going head underwater, maybe doing some Superman glides, getting them ready to start that next level. Once we get them doing some really good Superman glides and some going underwater and maybe a little bit of arm movements with it, some swimming movements, we move them up to our pre-C level, which is where we really start teaching them to swim across the pool and really be a swimmer. That's our young kids, and like I said, we categorize our young kids and our old kids. We have the same levels really for our older kids, because we teach them a little different. You can sing songs to little kids, where if you sing a song to a 10-year-old, they're not really going to sing back with you. They've grown out of that singing song phase. So we'll move on to our, once they're 6 years old, we'll move them to, and they can't swim at all. That'll be level 1. That's the can't swim at all. We're teaching them how to do everything. Level 2, they can do a little bit. Level 3, they really start swimming. So level 3, I really say is kind of like our pre-Bs. It's the same level. So if you pass through pre-B, you normally go into a level 3 or 4. At our level 2, we're really starting to teach them swimming. Level 3, they start to really swim freestyle. We start to teach them backstroke. We start to teach them a little breaststroke. Once they get that down, they're really capable of swimming a lap. We get into our next level, where we teach them some butterfly, really start getting into our breaststroke, and maybe add some side stroke into there, some treading water and some other stuff like that. Our next level gets into getting them so that they can swim for long distances. We swim almost like a swim team-esque level, where they're really comfortable, where they can swim down and back, down and back, down and back without stopping. And that's a really good skill, because if you're out in a boat or you're somewhere else and you fall out of the boat, you don't have just 25 yards to swim. You sometimes have a little bit more than 25 yards to swim. So getting them that distance swimming is a really important deal.
That sounds like a great program.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see them progress, to see those kids that are like this the first time, and at the end of the summer, they're backstroking it all the way down the pool.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the age groups like? Does it in the level 4? Do you have young kids and older kids mixed in classes? You don't break them up. You break them up according to skill, not age. Is that correct?
Skill once they get to 5.
Okay.
We do offer 2 other classes that are one's above our kids and one's below the 3 years old. We do a mommy and me class, which is for moms and their infants. They get into the water, and they duck them under the water. They play with them. They sing songs with them. They have a blast with them. It's stuff that they can do actually at home or anything else to get them ready for swim lessons. And our other level is adult beginner classes. This is for that adult that never got swim lessons, can't swim, afraid of the water. We get them down here. We get them in an adult class, so they don't have to worry. They're not with a 5, 6, 7-year-old. They're with the adults, and we teach them to swim. And I love teaching that class. It's a fun class to teach.
It sounds like it. It's a great skill to have too.
Yes, it does.
When do the pools open?
The pools open Memorial Day weekend. We'll be open weekends until school gets out, which is that June 10th week.
Okay. And what's the hours that the pool's open for open swim?
Open swim on weekends. We're open at both of our pools, Venetian Gardens and H.O. Dabney Pool, which is across the our Leesburg from this pool. And we're open on weekends at both pools from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. On weekdays, we're open 2 to 5.
2 to 5. And how much is it to come in and swim for an open swim session?
It's $2 a day to come swim for that time from 1 to 6, or from that 2 to 5.
Okay. Is there time reserved in the pool for exercising?
We do have time for exercising. We have a couple different times that we exercise. We have an aquasizing class that meets 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 11 to 12. And it's just stop in, You'll jump in the water with them. You'll start to learn the exercise, and they work out a deal with you on what days you want to come and how much it's going to cost for you to come in each day. The other exercising is some people do on their own. It's our lap swimming program that is open just here at Venetian Gardens from 12 to 2 o'clock, and it's Monday through Friday. And we'll have the lane line set up for them, and they just get in and start swimming laps.
Wow, that's great. I didn't know that.
Come swimming.
Are the pools available for rent?
The pools are available for rent. The main one that we do rent out our H.O. Dabney pool because it has a little bit more features than what this one will have. H.O. Dabney has a really neat slide. It's a double slide that twists and turns, and it's a water slide that goes in the pool. It's really neat. So we really push to rent that one out. But we rent both of them out. We do a lot more at this pool, so there's a lot more availability at the H.O. Dabney pool. We do rent them out, and it's very cheap to rent out.
Well, how much is it?
It is $35 an hour to rent the pool out. Plus there's a lifeguard fee depending on how many people you have. But $35 an hour to have the pool for yourself is great.
And you don't even have to clean it.
Nope, and you don't have to clean it.
What should I bring to the pool?
You can bring a swimsuit.
Oh.
You need a swimsuit. We'll get some people that say that, hey, I've got jeans on, I want to go swimming. No, we need swimsuits. We don't let people swim in their underwear. So that's one of our big things that we tell them. We don't want you to bring your pets. We don't want you to bring glassware. If you would like and you want to bring a packed lunch, we're okay with that at these pools. We have picnic areas set up, as long as nothing's glass. If you want to bring a ball to throw around, we're okay with that. We have at this pool and the other pool as well, we set up a volleyball net, and people play volleyball throughout the day as well. So they have a lot of fun at this pool.
Yes. I've been here to play volleyball, and it is a lot of fun because you get to meet a lot of different people who just all want to have a good time and play some volleyball. So will we be seeing you around the pool this summer?
Yes, you will. You will see me all summer.
Excellent. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for inviting me.
And we'll be right back to talk about our summer basketball programs.
Florida offers over 70 different varieties of seafood, so that gives you endless possibilities to create some amazing dishes. First, let's start with these Florida stone crab claws. Their sweet meat goes great with this orange marmalade and horseradish sauce. Or how about these large Gulf shrimp with sweet corn and red pepper and cilantro oil? And you can't go wrong with Florida grouper, especially when it's paired with snap beans and sweet pepper relish. For these Florida seafood recipes and many more, go to freshfromflorida.com.
Welcome, Marcus. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
So we're going to talk about prep basketball.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Prep basketball is a basketball that we created. Originally, it was for kids aged 13 to 15. But what I started noticing and missed is that right there in that area from 16 to 17, I still had high school kids that were still in high school that were missing basketball because I wasn't getting enough to do one or the other. So what I decided to do is create the program this year for 13 to 17. So basically what happens is a middle school kid gets a chance to participate in basketball against kids older to get them prepared more from middle school to high school. And I'm looking forward to be a real big summer program this year.
That sounds like a wonderful program. When is registration for this?
Registration for prep basketball started April 1st, and it carries all the way through May 13th.
So when does the actual program start?
June 1st.
June 1st, okay. And then is it going to be on certain days of the week?
Yes, that particular program, it's possible that program could play Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays?
Yes.
And will it be in the evening, during the day?
Yes, the first game for that program is going to start anywhere from 6 to 6:30 and last till at least 9 o'clock.
Till 9 o'clock? Really?
Yes.
Okay. And how much does it cost to participate?
Actually, I was able to lower the fee for that particular program. That program is created for the older kids, and there's a little less need involved with the older kids. So this year, the program for registration is only going to be $20 per person.
Wow. And does that include?
It includes a jersey.
A jersey.
And the trophies at the end of the season.
Okay. And do you need anything else to play basketball with?
What I would advise any parents to provide their kids with some decent shorts, some basketball sneakers, or some tennis shoes that they're comfortable in. Those are the only requirements that we ask.
Okay. And how many teams can you take?
Right now, I can take a million teams. I'm interested in trying to fill this league up to the point where it's actually too big for us to house. So my goal this year is to go very big with this actual group. It just, what it does is it gives those kids in that age bracket something to do throughout the summer. And we already get tons of those kids that come over and participate in open gym at the gym now. So it's just going to give them some organized basketball to do as well as open gym.
So it gives them something constructive to do.
Yes.
While getting some exercise.
Yes.
Good old-fashioned fun as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, we need it. We need it badly right now for that age group. They've voiced an interest in wanting to have it, so it's only fair that we provide it. I mean, we normally do it for the 13 to 15, but that extra 2 ages is going to add a lot more kids to that program.
Okay. Is that for boys and girls?
It's co-ed.
It's
actually
co-ed.
for boys and girls.
Okay. And then we have a Florida Girls Summer Basketball League.
Now, what that is similar to the same thing, but because the prep basketball is so competitive with the boys and the girls are so competitive and interested in basketball now, what I did was no one else in this area has ever ran an all-girls basketball league. So my intentions for that program is to provide that same type of atmosphere as prep, but just for girls in middle school and high school. And we started it last year, and last year for the first time we ran it, I would like to say we had at least 7 teams in that age group, which was huge for a first-time program.
How many people are on each team?
8 kids per team.
8 kids per team, so you did have a very good turnout last
Yes.
year. And when is registration for that?
April 1st as well, and that'll register from April 1st basically through May 31st. The registration is supposed to cut off on the 13th of May. That's when we draft the teams and start letting them practice and different things like that. But they have until from April 1st to May 31st to register. Games will start in June.
And what about practice?
Practices will be throughout the week, same days as the games will be scheduled, and some weekends. Some coaches like to bring their teams on the weekend, but those age groups, we're kind of flexible with the days and the times that they can practice.
And what time do these games take place?
They're going to be in the evening and sometimes on Saturday mornings.
Okay, so similar to the prep.
Prep, yes, ma'am.
The prep. Okay, and how many games do they actually play, depending upon how many
Depending
teams?
upon the teams. The more teams, the more games.
Okay, and for the girls, how much is that registration fee?
That registration is $20 this year as well,
Okay,
which is going to be wonderful, and it also includes their jerseys
it includes their jerseys as
and their
well.
trophies. Yes.
And again, just good shorts and sneakers.
Yes, basic basketball attire.
Okay. What about, do you need volunteers for this program?
Yes, we're always looking for volunteers for this program, preferably people who, with this age group, we look for people with a little bit more experience in working with kids in basketball, because they're the older kids. They need a little bit more tutelage and a little bit more training than the younger kids, so the experience level would be higher. Also, they're older kids, so dealing with older kids is a little different from dealing with the younger ones. So, but we're always looking for more volunteers, and we have a great group of volunteers. That's one of the things that is really good about our rec programs right now. I have a group of volunteers that have been with me for years, and these guys have committed to helping with these programs, and they are unbelievable. But it always helps to have more people involved.
Right. And you know, as you're talking, I'm thinking that would be a great volunteer opportunity for a college student who's returning home for the summer.
Yes, definitely if they're interested in any type of coaching. It'll be a great starter experience program for future teachers that want to be coaches, anybody that's interested in coaching. And you don't have to be, your interest doesn't have to be in basketball, but just the experience of coaching kids in a sport will help you in any genre in life. I mean, work, anywhere, dealing with anybody. So usually most of my volunteers are very professional people, and they do real well. So it benefits. It helped me, and that's one of the ways that I started in this field, is just by coaching.
Right. And like you said, when we help others, we help ourselves, right?
Yes.
Where are people registering?
The registration is going to take place at the gymnasium, the Leesburg Gymnasium, which is at 1851 Griffin Road, next to Carver Middle School. We're open from 8:30 in the morning to 1, and then from 2 to 5 each afternoon for the registration.
That's wonderful. So you're closed for lunch?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Enjoy it. Every time I come by, enjoy it.
We enjoy having you. And we will see you next time on Leesburg's Parks and Recreation Show.